Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Patra, and this is where we discuss everything about the stock markets, opening action, the early deals, the focus areas in terms of the stocks and sectors that are in limelight in the early trade, and to help you understand which way are the markets headed, what should be your investment strategy, and the stocks that you could keep in focus as we move forward. All of those coming up over the next 4 to 5 minutes. So do stay tuned on to with me on Business Today TV. Let's start off with the opening action. Of course, there was weaker global cues that we were facing. US markets lower, the Asian markets turned lower, and the SGX Nifty indicated a weaker start for the Indian markets. We did open lower, but there was a sharp bounce from there. The Sensex was seen soaring 100 odd points at 55,388. The Nifty also gained above the 16,500 mark as well. Right now seeing gains of about 0.2% in trade right now. Apart from this, if you see, the bank Nifty was seeing a tug of war between the bulls and the bears, while the India VIX rose nearly 2%. Remember, we are heading towards the series weekly and series F&O expiry as well tomorrow, and therefore there could be some heightened volatility after the end of this series. And you could actually see the Nifty or the India VIX was sitting above 18.5 levels, which were the stocks that were in focus in the early trade. But it was Asian Paints that was the top gainer, up 1.16%, followed by L&T, Bharti Airtel, Dr. Reddy's, and Titan. Now, these were the kind of focus areas in the in news today. Also, amid the fears of global recession, now India's GDP forecast has been trimmed by the International Monetary Fund to 7.4% from 8.2% earlier. Now, IMF's forecasts come at a time when the US economy has already shrunk by 1.5% in the March quarter, and many fear that the growth may have slipped in the negative zone in the June quarter as well, which could mean that there could be two consecutive quarters in the US markets into the negative territory, indicating a technical recession. For the global real GDP growth, IMF has also slashed its projections to 3.2% in 2022 from 3.6% that it had projected back in April. IMF's projection, however, was slightly higher than the 7.2% that the Reserve Bank of India had projected this year for Indian markets and the Indian economy. Now, that's going to be extremely key because that's going to exert some amount of pressure on the markets as well. Of course, the markets will be awaiting with bated breath the US Federal Reserve meeting and the outcome from that. The 2 days meeting has kick-started today, and what we will be looking at is whether the US central bank, the Federal Reserve, really raises the interest rates as per the expectations of 50, 75 basis points, or just goes ahead for 100 basis points hike. If that happens, that could be another pressure point that the markets could be reacting to. Apart from this, the stocks that are in focus, I said L&T. The stock price has jumped 2%. After the Q1 results, the profits have risen 45% here on a sequential basis. However, the profits have declined. Keep that stock is in focus. Apart from this, Asian Paints as the top gainer today after strong Q1 results again. However, analysts have still, remained bearish on the stock going forward. Keeping in mind that the demand scenario, looking at the crude oil prices volatility, could be in the pain point in today's trading session. Apart from this, what else are we spotting? Apart from this, on the sectors, all the sectors are in the green, and that's a big positive now that the markets have swung back into the green, with taking away all the sectors with itself as well. With the realty space really rising 1.15% in trade as the top gaining sector. Pharma sector is up by 0.9%. PSU banks follow suit as well. Apart from this, there's a 0.5% uptick perhaps on the IT space. Slight uptick in the FMCG space is absolutely flat today. Metals are slightly in the green as well, but rest of the sectors are absolutely trading flat to just the minor gains being seen. Market breadth favors the advances, 36 advances to 14 declines on the Nifty index. Today, the gainers on the Nifty index include even some of the other pharma names like Cipla and Sun Pharma, up 1.5% in green. Aisha Motors, Grasim, L&T. L&T definitely the top gainer now after the earnings, 3.5% on the upside. On the downside, you have Bajaj Finserv that's declining, Apollo Hospitals, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Bajaj Auto, and JSW Steel. All of these are in focus. Now, these are also in focus because of the stocks. are going to be reacting to their earnings in anticipation and post the earnings as well. Like I said, L&T strong numbers, 3.5% uptick. Bharti Airtel and Reliance Industries in focus because of the 5G spectrum auction day 2. We've already seen on day 1 bids of 1.45 lakh crore rupees on day 1. So strong participation coming in from the telecom companies right there. Wipro is in focus again because of the 5-year strategic engagement with Nokia to drive digital transformation for the company. That agreement could fruit well for Wipro as well. Apart from this, you are also looking at how Piramal Enterprises has got an RBI nod to begin an NBFC business without accepting public deposits. So another positive for Piramal now. Axis Bank is in focus. CCI has approved the acquisition of Citibank's India retail assets. Again, a big positive for Axis Bank. Shoppers Stop is in focus today. On the earnings front, the EBITDA is at 162.5 crore rupees. So it's turned EBITDA positive from loss to profits. That stock is definitely up in the green. Apart from this, on the downside, United Spirits is down. Earnings are below estimates and margins have come in at 13%. Tata Power, the revenue is up 48%. However, the margins have shrunk again on the downside. Zomato shares worth 200 crore rupees have exchanged hands in the last 2 days. Remember, this is what we were talking about, what led to the 22% fall in Zomato in the last 2 days. But the stock has bounced back about 2 or 3% today. It's up at 43 rupees against 41 rupees of a close that we saw yesterday. All of those factors will be important to track as we move forward from here. So do stay tuned through the day. I'll bring you all the latest updates of the markets. So don't go anywhere and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.